Hey there, Caleb. In this video, I am going to show you 3 things that you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. My name is Seleni and I just work with business owners across the state of Utah. I actually spoke with Alyssa earlier today and she gave me the green light to send this over to you guys. So I put together this quick custom video for you about your online presence and specifically how you stack up against your competition. I'm sure at this point you're most likely sitting there asking yourself, why would she be doing this and what's the catch? Well, that's a fair question. What I have found is that most local business owners are just too busy actually running their business. They're maybe swamped with payroll, helping customers, answering questions, honestly just dealing with employees and staying on top of jobs that many times learning how to leverage the internet to benefit their company just gets buried underneath all of the other to-dos. And let's be real, half the time, the only reason somebody hasn't hired an agency yet is because they don't know who to trust or know who is truly an expert. So that is exactly why I make videos like this. I have found that by giving people an easy, free attack plan of actual things that they can do to impact their business for free, it has resulted in some of those business owners still raising their hands and saying, hey, I like you, Seleni, can you please just handle this for me? So if by the end of this video you've liked what you've heard and can see that I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, then shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan that I give to you and do it yourself, that totally works for me too. Now let's cover the 3 things that are going to set Halls Pool and Spa above your competition. First would be content, second citations, and third backlinks. So first up is content. So since Google isn't a human, it doesn't just know what you do, it needs to be told through your content. So content is basically going to be anything here you can see on your homepage that is highlighted. So this can be text, it can be images, what your pictures are saved as, what's behind the pictures, all of that can be considered content. Now to give you an example of what I mean with images, let's go up to this image and do a right click, save as. We can see what you've got it saved as. So you can see just some generic letters and numbers here. Similarly, if we do a save as there, just a bunch of letters and numbers again there. So alternatively, this would be a great way to be able to leverage high volume keywords in here, using those here in your detailed image descriptions. Again, all of these things are things that the Google bots can read and get an idea of what is this business, what services are they offering, what area are they targeting, and that's going to position you in the search rankings. So the goal is having unique and authoritative content. And you need to have enough of it to be able to add in the right keywords and phrases that people are actually searching for in Google in order for somebody to find the services that you offer. Most business owners know that they need content, but what they don't know is that in order to rank number 1 on Google for pool building, the average content count is 1,500 to 2,400 words on your homepage. Again, while making sure that it has the right keywords and phrases that your customers are actually searching for. So when I copied your content here and plugged it into my tool, I can see that your homepage is sitting around 174 words. Again, we're really lacking the amount of content here. That way we can use the right keywords for your website to get found. Now, I'm jumping into a competitor, and I guess before I jump in here, I do need to quickly mention too, I shot this specifically for pool building in the St. George area, which I did notice that you guys do actually have multiple areas that you are servicing: Davis County, Weber County, Salt Lake County, and Washington. But this would apply for all the counties. The same research could be done similarly to all areas, but I was just focusing on the St. George area for these. So that kind of gives you a quick little plug here for that. But again, if you're interested, we can jump into the research for all the different areas and services. But these guys, Cutting Edge Pools, they are currently ranking number 1 in the St. George area for pool builds. When I took their content count and plugged it in here, they're also just sitting around like 400 words here on their homepage. So super beatable to be able to beat them out and get the average national content count up to that 1,500 to 2,400 words on your homepage, again with the right keywords. Now we're actually going to jump over here into one of my tools. This is called Ahrefs. It's a super cool tool. It typically costs a couple $100s a month if you guys wanted to go get this for yourself, but it essentially gives me behind the scene details that Google's looking at when it comes to ranking a site, so I can get a really good idea of what's working well for you and for your competition. So again, I've got Cutting Edge URL here, and so we can see the overview. I can see that they've got 37 keywords being found on their homepage and roughly what type of traffic that they're driving every single month with that. Now we're actually going to take some time while we're talking about content and dive specific into those keywords that they're being found for. And we can see the exact keywords that they're being found for and what customers are searching for as well. So right off the bat here, you can see that they are being found for pool builders, St. George, Utah. That key phrase alone is being searched 70 times every single month. And the tool here shows second position, but from my search, they're actually ranking the first one. Sometimes this tool changes a little bit. It just can't keep up with Google and how often they're changing rankings, but they are ranking the top 3 spots there for that key term, again, being searched 70 times per month. They're also being found for like pool supplies. It's being searched 20 times per month. And then some of these other key terms aren't exactly pertinent to the pool building like we were talking about. But I wanted to also show you here in my same tool what type of keywords I'm also finding. So we've got another one, St. George Pool Builders. That is also being searched 70 times every month. This is one that we just talked about, also being searched 70 times per month. This one, Pool Builders in St. George, Utah, being searched 40 times every month. St. George, Utah Pool Builders also being searched 40 times per month. So just looking at the volume of how many people are searching for pool builders, what would that do to your company and your business to be able to get all of that traffic of these people searching for pool builds, or even just a percentage of that traffic? Now, let's jump over here. Same tool. I've got your URL plugged in here. We can see the exact same overview. I can see how many keywords are being found on your homepage, or sorry, your whole website, as well as what kind of traffic it's driving in per month. Now, as you can see here, right now with this tool, Google is not finding what your website is being optimized for. So Google doesn't know what your website and your current content is showing. So it has nothing to really be able to put your website at the very top for your ideal customers to be finding you. So this is a huge miss here that we could really improve to help you get more leads. Again, we've got to focus on that content count and getting those right keywords and phrases. And like I said, you guys are in multiple areas, so we really should be targeting all these different areas, the different services, all the keywords. There's a lot to be found here. And I know in the St. George area, this was only St. George traffic. I know I've taken a look at like the Salt Lake area. Salt Lake has a lot of volume. And so we could definitely go into that as well. But you guys are missing out on a ton of volume, and just even being able, like I said, a percentage of that traffic, just being in the top, like first page of Google would be super instrumental to you guys. Now we're gonna actually pivot and go to the second thing that we're gonna talk about, which is citations. So let's jump over here into Google. So first thing is I do have this, one of those keywords pulled up here, Pool Builders, St. George, Utah. Again, the first thing that we see here, of course, is the ads section. Here's the thing about ads. Ads can work, but they can also be a huge money pit if your foundation or like your website isn't dialed in, or if customers are using an ad blocker. So just be careful to not burn through your money with Google Ads until you know for sure that your site is going to convert. Now, we're actually going to jump down below the ad section down here into this coveted map section. This area has a lot to do with the second important thing, which is the citations that we're going to talk about. And you might be asking yourself, okay, what is a citation? Why do they matter? Well, great questions. So this is called the Google Map Pack. I'm sure you've used it. You've probably even asked yourself, how can I get my business up here in the top 3 spots? Well, it's a great question, and that's what I'm about to show you. So to get to the top 3, the number one thing that Google looks at is a thing called citations. So what is a citation? Super simple. It's just your business name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories like these. Having citations like this helps Google to be able to verify you and then give relevance to your local business. So to push yourself in the top 3 spots in the map pack, you've got to increase your citation game on top of the optimizing of your Google business profile here. When you get more citations than your competitors, especially from authoritative and industry-specific websites, your credibility boosts, you gain more trust from Google, therefore pushing you above your competition. Now, you might be asking yourself, great, but how do I actually do that? Well, there are paid tools like WhiteSpark and BrightLocal that can go in and we can actually see the exact directories that your competition is listed on here. We can go out and match them. But of course, we don't want to just match them, we want to dominate them. So what we have seen is that most pool building companies that are ranked to the top, they're usually sitting around, I'd say 50 to 150 citations. So if you're pushed down below that, you got a lot less. And I actually did throw yours into a tool. I can see you guys are sitting around 5 citations. So again, we not only need to go get those citations to match your top competitors, but then we need to beat them out online. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the last thing that I wanted to cover with you today, which is backlinks, or often called link juice. This third pillar is really going to help you dominate. So again, when we've searched Pool Builders St. George, Utah, we go down below the ads and below the map pack, we get into this area, which is called the organics listing section. And you can see here your site is not ranked number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere here on the first page of Google. Now, ideally, we want to be in these top 3 spots because Google statistics have shown us that the top 3 businesses on Google here get about 75% of the clicks, meaning that most of your potential customers are choosing one of these first 3 results and are never even making it down to your listing on who knows what page you're on, right? So in order to get here, you've got to beat out your competition in every aspect. You need authority. So how do you get authority? Well, this is where the backlinks come into play. So a backlink is just when one website links to another website online. The easiest way to think about this is thinking about it like a popularity contest back in high school. You want the coolest, most popular kid to be recommending you. So in this popularity contest, the business with the most relevant link juice or authority wins. And I say relevant because not all backlinks are created equal. You guys are pool builders, right? Well, you wouldn't want to get a backlink from like an ice cream shop linking back to you because you don't make ice cream. Although that would be tasty, that backlink would be kind of useless to you. But if you had one from like a local blog or industry specific site, that would be much more effective. Now we're going to jump over here again into my tool. I can actually see how many backlinks we've got pointed back to your website. Right now it's showing 0 backlinks being pointed back to your website. So again, we've really got to be able to beef this up a little bit, show that you guys are the authority. Jumping over here to the St. George competitor, if we go back to their overview, I can see they've got 206 backlinks being pointed back to them, and some from very strong, relevant sources. So again, how do we get these? Well, here with Ahrefs, I can actually go in and see the exact sites that are linking to them. Then we can go get the same links, if not better ones. Again, this is very beatable with time. Now, getting you here to the top of Google, it is not magic. It's just a tried and true method, and I have shown you that exact method here today. So again, the 3 things that you can do today to grow your online presence is first, focusing on your content. You gotta get this content up to a minimum of 1,500 words with the right keywords and phrases for your company to be able to get found. Second is citations. Getting your business name, address, and phone number listed on as many online directories. That way you're beating out your competition by a landslide and getting up here into the top. And again, this is relevant for those other counties that you service as well. Backlinks, making sure that you guys are getting backlinks pointed back to your website. Right now, your website has 0 power and people are not finding it at all. We've got to get quality, relevant sites pointing back to you to show Google that you are the authority. Again, if you implement these strategies today, you can be number 1 across Google. Now, I know how tough the market is, and I know how dependent small businesses might be on third-party companies like Angie's List, and I know how painful it is to pay for leads that are shared amongst your competitors. What I have shown you here today gives you control over your leads, and it gives you an actionable plan, having those clients come straight to your door without a broker like Angie's List in between. So I'm sure you're wondering at this point, okay, well, what now? Well, you have a few options. First, if you feel like you cannot handle any more clients every month, that is absolutely fair. If you could just send me a quick note telling me you watched the video, tell me your thoughts about it, I would really appreciate your feedback. On the other hand, if you're ready to grow, you can take this blueprint and you can implement these 3 strategies that I showed you today. Again, I gave you the exact formula that businesses pay tons of dollars to have, and it is all yours to use to help your company. Now, if you found this information valuable, and if you're still one of those business owners to still raise their hands for the most effective route, go ahead and respond to my email and we'll set up a time to chat. Once again, my name is Seleni, and I look forward to speaking with you, Caleb. Have a great day.